friends, I'm Steph from cheapskatecook.com and welcome to my kitchen. Let's talk about eating vegetables in the winter in a budget-friendly way that actually tastes good. So I really like eating vegetables in the summertime when they're like fresh from the garden or the farmer's market, or even something from the grocery store tastes better in the summertime than it does in the wintertime. But it's wintertime, so it's like cold and flu season, and we're supposed to be, like eating vegetables all the time, I guess. So I've tried to find some ways to incorporate more vegetables into our winter diet in ways that taste good but are still really budget friendly. Now, of course, the most obvious way to add more vegetables in the wintertime is by eating soup. And of course, we love eating lots of soup. Well, okay, we eat lots of soup. Some of my family likes soup more than others, but we do have a few different kinds of soup that our whole family enjoys, and we've just found ways to make it work in our budget and for our family's particular tastes. Lots of soup, okay? So we eat it probably at least once or twice a week for dinner, and then lunchtimes are usually just the leftover soup. We try to work it into a normal routine in our menu in the wintertime. I have several YouTube videos about different kinds of soup that we make in our family, so if you want to check those out, you can. If you like where this video is going, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button or drop a comment below so that you can learn more ways to save money and eat healthy. So let's talk about making vegetables that's not soup. So different ways that we can eat more veggies in the wintertime when like fresh vegetables or maybe your like classic salad veggies aren't as readily available, and they definitely aren't as budget friendly, because if you think about it, if you try to buy a tomato in the wintertime, it's going to be wintertime, like where I live. It depends on where you live, but out of season, then it's going to cost a lot more and it's gonna taste really gross compared to a tomato that is fresh and in season. It's going to be more budget friendly, it's gonna taste amazing. It's just better all the way around. So how can we take these winter vegetables or vegetables that are more budget friendly in the winter time and add them to our diet in ways that we enjoy without needing to eat soup all the time? Today I want to challenge you with making salad that is made from roasted vegetables. So if you think about the different elements that make salad really delicious, you're thinking like, crispy veggies and a creamy dressing and really full, fresh flavors. And you can have all of those things in a roasted vegetable salad. So roasted vegetables taste great totally on their own, but I want to challenge you to try something new. Try making a salad out of your roasted vegetables. So we're going to take broccoli and cauliflower, which is a fairly budget-friendly combination of vegetables in the fall and winter where I live. Maybe where you live, then it's going to be a little different, but broccoli and cauliflower tend to be pretty easy to find. They're really delicious. Cauliflower is like the vegetable that blends with everything. You can make it into pizza, you can make it into, like chicken nuggets, you can make it into, I think I've seen like breakfast cereal made with cauliflower. So it just takes on the flavors of whatever is around it. Quick question, do you roast vegetables? What do you think of roasted vegetables? And do you tend to eat more of them in the winter, or are you more like a steamed vegetable kind of person? Let me know in the comments below. So for the creamy dressing, we're going to use a balsamic vinaigrette, and I have a recipe for that on my site. In fact, I have a video about it as well, but it is really delicious, really easy to make, budget friendly. You probably already have all the ingredients in your pantry. And then we have the broccoli and the cauliflower. We're going to add some fresh herbs, which are totally optional for this recipe. I don't know about you, it's just better if a salad has some like really fresh element to it. And these are herbs that are probably gonna stick around, just depending on what the weather's doing, but they can stick around into the colder weather. You can find them at the grocery store for fairly inexpensive, but if that's out of your budget or just not available where you are, you can totally skip them, it's fine. The herbs that I used in this recipe are ones that are just like growing in pots outside my door. I found that that is the best, most budget-friendly way to incorporate fresh herbs into our diet, and they don't cost any extra money. Another thing that we're going to add to this salad is some kind of grain or bean. So for this recipe, I use quinoa because that's what we had in our pantry. You can use other kinds. You can use a can of navy beans or Great Northern beans or some kind of like mild flavored beans. Maybe chickpeas would work. Not sure about that. And that just adds a little more bulk to this recipe, a fun texture, and I don't know, it just adds kind of that like comfort food element that we really crave in the wintertime. And then you can make it into like a meatless meal. So it can be a side dish, or you can just eat more of it and call it your meatless meal. Or just add like some shredded chicken and call it your whole meal. Super flexible, just do what you want with it. The other thing that I want to add to this recipe is some kind of crumbled cheese. This is totally optional, so if you are dairy free, then skip it and it will still be a delicious recipe. But for those of you who eat dairy, this is gonna be really delicious. And I don't know about you, but salad that has cheese in it is just automatically better in my mind. So we used feta, you can use goat cheese. Those are the two that I would recommend. Kind of experiment, see what works for you. But we just like them because they're tangy and crumbly and creamy and delicious. Roasting the vegetables. This is so easy and we tend to overcomplicate it. Like I used to be really overwhelmed with the idea of roasting vegetables because I felt like I needed to look up a particular recipe for every single different kind of vegetable that there is. And yes, there are some vegetables that work better at some temperatures and all of that, but here's a trick that just made it so much easier and less intimidating. Whatever vegetable that you are cooking, just chop it into bite-sized pieces and then put it on a baking sheet. Toss it with olive oil and salt and pepper, maybe some garlic if that's gonna taste good. You can leave out the pepper if you want. And roast it at 450 degrees Fahrenheit for like 10 minutes aside. So if it's eggplant or something really kind of like bigger, then you can roast it for 10 minutes, flip it, and then roast it for 10 more minutes. If it's something smaller like broccoli or cauliflower, then you can just stick it in there for like 15, 20 minutes. You don't need to flip them, and then they'll be crispy and yummy and delicious. And you're looking for like little brown bits on the edges and for the inside, so you can take like a little butter knife or something and stab the vegetable. And you want it to be soft, hopefully not overcooked. So not mushy or too soft, but like just a little bit of give. At least that's the way I like it. If you like mushy vegetables, just cook it a little longer. This is just kind of an easy rule of thumb that I use for roasting vegetables, and it just makes everything simple, it's delicious, and it's a little less overwhelming, and we love it. The last thing that I want to suggest for this recipe is this cool thing that you can do with onions, and that is called macerating the onions. Kind of a weird word. You just toss the red onions with whatever kind of acid would complement your dish best. In this case, we used apple cider vinegar just because that's what I had in my pantry. I've used lemon juice if I'm using a dressing that is more lemony, or I use lemon juice in the salad dressing. And then you let it sit for a couple of minutes. That can be 5 minutes, it can be 10 minutes, it can be 20 minutes. Basically, the vinegar breaks down the onions and just makes them really delicious. It is what all of my salads were missing, because I don't really like raw onions on their own, but this extra step makes the onions so delicious. The other day my son tried a salad that had macerated onions in it and he was like, "Mom, this tastes like it was from a restaurant." I highly recommend this step. If you hate onions, just skip it. But I think it's delicious and I highly recommend it, and hey, onions are good for you. But just make sure that you macerate them first, because it's just gonna make them so much better in the salad. We weren't saving this for like another meal, right? Because I'm just gonna eat this right now. Okay, that is our roasted vegetable salad, quinoa, whatever you want to call it. It is delicious, it is simple to make, the leftovers taste amazing. You can make it dairy-free, it's already gluten-free. You can make it like a meatless meal or add chicken, make it a full meal, all these different things. I hope that this recipe helps you find some unique ways to incorporate more veggies during the winter or colder months, wherever you live. I hope it helps you save money, eat healthy, and I can't wait to chat with you again soon. I'm Steph from cheapskatecook.com, and thank you to Kitchen Stewardship for collaborating with us. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button for more ways to save money and eat healthy. I've tried to find some ways to eat vegetables, that was my phone. And we eat So cauliflower is a really good one because it's gonna take on the, see if I can put two sentences together. We are going to use my favorite, no we're not, it's a different one. The last thing that we're going to add to this salad, no it's not the last thing. Another thing that we're going to add to this, but just make your, I can't talk. Don't forget the, we weren't saving this for like another meal, right? Because I'm just gonna eat this right now. It's on the size of a mixing bowl.